Good evening, rolling out. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's week has gotten off to a great start. This is your host, Crystal Jordan with Reality Check. And if you'll notice, we are here with a new time, Monday nights at 8 p.m. So we're prime time, which means we can have a little bit more of an adult conversation, which is what Reality Check is all about. So as I said, I hope you guys are off to a great week. In Georgia here, our early voting started. So we want to encourage everybody to get up and go vote. If I were you, I would definitely get that done early. We have no idea what November 3rd is going to look like. But I know we just finished hearing a seat at the table conversation, and it's so important that we all vote. So we just want to encourage you guys to get up and go. If you're going to wait till November 3rd, that's fine. If you want to get in early, we can start now. So we definitely want to do that. So much happened over the weekend. I saw that Cynthia Bailey got married. We want to send out a congratulations to her and her handsome groom, Mike Hill. I'm sure we'll see all the tea on the upcoming season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But the internet was assaulted with pictures from their wedding over the weekend. And I believe that if you look in People magazine, you can see the entire spread. Cynthia looked gorgeous. The gown was a little bit different than the last gown that she wore when she married Peter on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But, you know, if you're like me, you're hoping that this relationship is going to be her true love. So we wish Cynthia and Mike Hill the best. So tonight's conversation, we're going to talk about beauty versus brains and how women can maximize both. Do you lead with beauty? Do you lead with brains? That's a conversation that I've had a lot of times with women, especially young women, and figuring out what energy you lead with and which one pays off for wherever you're going. So I want you guys to help me welcome tonight's guest. She is an actress. She is a model. She's a fitness model. She's just all around triple threat, director, writer, comedian. She does it all. Please help me welcome actress and model and influencer, LaToya Ward.
Hi.
Hey, LaToya.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you. You too. And thank you for joining Reality Check.
I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. So we were usually Mondays at 2:00, kind of in the middle of the day, but we have moved. This is the second, the second show in the second season, which is here at 8 p.m. So we're excited to have you're our second guest here in our primetime slot. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is going to be better for our viewers because we can actually be relaxed. I'm sitting here with my cup of tea.
Okay.
Got my hope mug, and it's just a little bit more of a relaxed conversation. So, did you get a chance to see the pictures from Cynthia's wedding over the weekend?
I didn't see the pictures, but I did see the video.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did see the video. Beautiful dress.
Beautiful dress. Different, right?
Mm-hmm. Very different.
Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. So I know you're here now. I was looking at your Instagram, and you are absolute. I mean, your fitness goals, your body goals, all that stuff is definitely on point. Tell us a little bit about, especially during COVID, we know everybody is, our routines are a little bit different than they were last year.
Right.
So how have you managed to stay so physically fit and look so amazing during this COVID period?
Thank you so much for saying that. It has been a struggle for sure with the gyms being closed. Mm-hmm. However, even before then, I was always kind of working out at home. So if I'm looking at TV or just taking a break or something, I'm constantly either like doing crunches or, squats or something like that. So that part really hasn't changed. The not being able to go to the gym is the part that sucks the most. And I even ordered some equipment back in July thinking like, okay, if the gyms are closed, let me still get my workout in. And I still haven't received it yet. So
you know what? I did that. I ordered some equipment because I was like, okay, even when the gyms do open back up, I'm probably just going to do something else because we're used to now not doing that. So I ordered something in Amazon. It hasn't gotten here yet.
Right.
So yeah.
It's terrible, but yeah.
Well, you look amazing. Even still, you look amazing. I want us to talk about beauty and brains and how women can maximize both of those things. But you have been a part of some amazing projects. I know we want to talk about your personal project that is doing great right now, but you've been a part of the legacy, the Tyler Perry Studio legacy. you're on the show If Loving You Is Wrong, which is, we know, on OWN. Talk to us about that audition, because I know you auditioned. There were so many other people up for that part.
Yes. So I'm so glad you asked me that. So Tom Joyner, the morning show, he had an audition on the cruise ship. And so I went on there with my sister, and there was 550 of us that auditioned. And so the amazing thing with that, though, is before I even went on the cruise to audition, I was doing all this research on, you know, different Tyler Perry things, because I was thinking maybe I'm going to have to come up with my own. Like, I didn't really know how the audition process was going to work.
Right.
Got on there and they gave us the sides. Or actually before that, I knew exactly where the sides were from because of the research that I had did before. So I'm like, perfect. This is from that. This is from that. So I honed in on one. And then when I actually auditioned, I did the absolute most. So it was so amazing because there was only supposed to be one winner. Out of 550 people, 30 of us came back for a callback. We got a callback. And from there was only supposed to be one winner, but he ended up selecting 10 of us for, you know, walk-on roles on his show. And so that was such an amazing experience, because I felt when I was on the stage auditioning in front of Tyler Perry himself for the callbacks, I felt like there's nothing more that I could have done for that audition. So if I didn't get it, then I know there's nothing else I could have done. And so I got it. And then, you know, they flew me out to Atlanta for the Tyler Perry studios, and waiting to be called for my scene, I was sitting like basically like in my trailer, and I'm able to see what they're doing on set right now. So I'm in my trailer and I'm looking at Tyler Perry basically like directing the other actors. And it was so surreal to where like I literally started crying.
Wow.
Oh, you know, but I'm so glad that happened then and I didn't go on set and start crying, because I would have been But I was like, man, this is amazing to experience this. And you know, I felt like, yay, you know, I worked really hard to get there. So it was phenomenal, something I will never, ever, ever forget.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to point out, I like to do like little reality checks through the conversation. And I think for you gave us a reality check initially because you said that you did your preparation. You had done a lot of preparing before you got in front of them. And then you did the absolute most once you got there. So I think that's a great kind of key to take out of that experience, is that you had done, I've often heard that, you know, success happens when preparation, you know, meets opportunity. And you definitely had done the research, you know, to do that. Did you know which show that you were going to be auditioning for?
No, I did not. And that was the crazy thing. When I got back, I'm like, okay, yay, you know, they selected me. I'm thinking I'm going to go back and quit my job and be like, hey, forget y'all. But it took like a few months, and then they sent me some stuff and I auditioned for that and then got the walk-on role. So I was like, oh, okay, that's how this works. But it was still amazing.
Nice. Now that's one of the shows that has a, you know, audience that's built in. It's on OWN, and there's some other things on. There's The Have and Have Nots, which is the show that's there on OWN, and then of course If Loving You Is Wrong. So what was your thought process when you did find out which show you were going to be on? Were you familiar with the show? Did you know the characters? Did you know where you fit in?
No. So when we were on stage auditioning for the callbacks, and he was, you know, giving different people feedback, he was saying that he has like a lot of stuff going on with different movies and TV shows. So he didn't really know which ones we were going to be selected for, like in the end. And so when he pointed to me, he said, I can see you playing a crazy ass ex-girlfriend. And I was just like, oh, thank you very much. So when I got back, they did send some sides for If Loving You Is Wrong, and then had me, you know, just do like a tape audition based on that, just to see, I guess, if that would have been the right role for me, you know, afterwards. And so I did. And then they were like, okay, cool. You know, this is going to be the show you're going to be on. I'm like, perfect. So it was good. But no, I did not know. And I did not know that show, If Loving You Is Wrong, but it's a pretty good show. I was like,
it's one of those Tyler Perry shows that, like I said, it has like a cult following of people that are very serious about it. And it's a soap opera, you know, it's a primetime soap opera. So you have people saying hello, Jimmy, lots of people tuning in, saying hello to you. So you've been a part of history, because I feel like no one, hands down, I don't care what you think, Tyler Perry is a part of history. Entertainment history. It's not even Black entertainment history. He's just entertainment history. So that's a huge thing to have had an opportunity to interact with him. Did you take anything away? What takeaways did you take with you from that experience, being able to watch him on set, being able to see the way, because he shoots so much, he has so much going on. Did you take anything with you personally? Because I know that you have your own show that you've movie that you've executive produced and written and starred in. So were you able to take anything from that experience with Tyler Perry for yourself?
Most definitely. I liked how, and I had never seen this before, but it was almost as if, as he's giving direction to the actors on set, they're pretty much kind of like frozen as they're listening to him. And usually I've never seen that before. It's like, okay, hey, what's my direction? Okay, then let me get back to it. And they were just like in the moment, but still listening to him so that they could just go back into it. So I thought that was really interesting. And I think the biggest takeaway was, no matter what you want to do, as long as you go after it, like, you know, it could happen. Just go after it, though. Don't have any regrets for not doing something, because you never know what could happen. And so I'm forever grateful for that.
Love that. Love that. So let's talk about your project. I know that you are the movie Damsel is a part of the Urban Media Makers Film Festival that actually is going on now. And I was like, yes, girl power, when I saw that you executive produced, wrote, you pulled a Tyler Perry yourself for doing all the roles. Tell us about the film and where the inspiration for this project came from.
Perfect. Thank you. So the name of the film is called Damsel, and it is a sci-fi love story with a little bit of comedy. So I love comedy, so I had to, you know, kind of throw that in there. But basically, I got the inspiration from Black Mirror, which I love that show on Netflix. And so it's basically about, you know, if you could look into the future with some kind of device to like determine your love life, would you take that risk, or would you just say, no, you know what, I don't want to know. I just kind of want to see where the chips may fall.
Right.
So so that was basically the inspiration behind that one. And I didn't direct that one, but a good friend of mine, Jamar Hill, directed that for me. So
okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Now, would you do that? Because I'm thinking, you said the question, I'm sitting here thinking, if I could look into the future of my love life, I would definitely want to know. Definitely want to know. I don't like, when it comes to things like that, I want to know. I don't want to leave anything to chance. I think that would I think a lot of women, especially maybe men, I don't know if men will feel the same, but I think it would allow you to feel a sense of peace. Like, okay, that's going to be taken care of, or maybe it's not. And I need to make sure that, you know, I'm doing a little bit more.
Exactly. And then too, if you think about it, like past relationships, you know, if you see that person now, it's like, wow, you know, never would have thought they would have turned out like this, or never, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be good or bad.
Right.
But like, I'm kind of glad, you know,
that didn't go that way. Or maybe, I thought sometimes you see a guy, you see a person lately, as I've become a lot more mature, you can see someone that you dated and it didn't work, but you see them doing well, and now they're probably be a good guy for someone else. Right. And I can say, you know what, I'm happy for him, and I know he's going to be great, and it's okay that we're not together. So a lot of times when you see a guy doing well, you think, maybe I need to go back and get him. But it's like you realize, like, that's not for me, and that's okay. Right. And all breakups and things that end don't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes it just means you guys weren't supposed to be together.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So tell me about your character. In this, because I know this is happening right now, we want to make sure that people can check it out. Tell us a little bit more about the character that you play in this indie film.
Okay, so I'm a single mother, and it's basically like I've been on just having like the worst luck with men. And so the time in history comes where I can put this device on my temple and be able to see the first date with somebody. Uh-oh, my little thing is getting ready to fall. Get ready to see the first date with someone. And so in doing that allows me to either pursue the person or decide to kind of walk away. And so I just, you know, looking at Black Mirror, I like the whole futuristic kind of thing. And so, you know, that's kind of basically what the character is. And so she goes on a couple of dates that turn out not to be, you know, all that great. And then she sees something in someone else, and, you know, you got to watch it.
So tell people, how can they see it? I know it's with Urban Media Makers. And how can people watch it, and how long is it available, and what do you see for the future of the film?
Perfect. So it's streaming right now, October 12th through the 25th,
Okay.
and it's on urbanflixtogo.com. You
Okay.
can actually go to umff.com to get tickets for the festival, which is, running the whole time. And although you can see Damsel anytime between October 12th through the 25th, on the actual date of the 24th is when our film is going to be actually featured, because that's the Afrofuturism category.
Okay.
And so they're going to do like the Q&A with the cast at like 6:00 p.m. on the 24th. But you can watch it right now. And, it's only 20 minutes. The future of it is, we'll basically see. I'm thinking we may turn it into a feature, which will be kind of interesting. So,
yeah. That would be like a cool series. I'm going to say it, and then I hope you'll reach back out to me later.
Yeah, for sure.
Reach back out to me later and we can talk that through. But seriously, I could see that as a really cool series. I think relationships, and I love the sci-fi aspect of it. Everybody's been talking about Lovecraft and just the genius of Jordan Peele on so many different movie concepts that mesh sci-fi with, social injustice and different issues. But I love the idea, very forward thinking, of sci-fi and romance. Like, that's really cool. So keep us posted on that. But I could definitely see that as a Netflix series or some type of series where you see people going on dates. Yeah.
Thank you.
So writing about romance and relationships, I have to say I did, I spent some time looking over your page, and I see that you do a lot of like relationship skits. Just, the comedy obviously is a big thing for you. Give us like a couple of lessons that you've learned in love that you could share with people that you probably, would find their way into your projects when you're writing or you're thinking about skits. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in relationships?
Biggest lessons I've learned? I would have to say that you have to teach people how to treat you. So that would be, I think, a pretty big lesson, in that don't just tolerate the BS, because whoever they are, I think that's a misconception that a lot of men have, is they think they can just, treat women any kind of way. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? Like, no. So I think that's one of the things. Another big lesson, I'm like an alpha female, so I kind of operate just a little bit differently, but I would just say not to be afraid of love. And like, I love hard. And so like, one of my lessons though, I think too, is like, I'm going to treat you a certain way, and that's what I expect. And if you do not give that to me, then I have to walk away. So if we're not on the same page with that, then we're basically,
there's nothing there. There's nothing to talk about.
So pay attention to the signs, I say.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned alpha female. I was having a conversation earlier. One of the headlines that's kind of been trending has been the conversation with Jeannie Mai about her relationship with her fiance, Jeezy. And she was talking about the fact that she will be submissive to him when they get married, because that's her culture and that's how she looks at relationships. What's your take on that, especially with you mentioning that you're alpha female, on women being submissive? And I know there's like a whole culture of women that are saying that, being feminine and being submissive is the way to catch or to attract a high quality man. And then there's the feminists on the other side saying, we want equal rights. I'm not being submissive. He doesn't need to be submissive. We need to be equal partners. What's your take on the whole submissive debacle? Because it's like a trigger word that gets both sides really, really worked up.
Yeah. So I really feel like it's really like a give and take. So I do agree with being submissive to a certain extent. However, I'm not going to keep being submissive if you're not reciprocating it and like catering to my needs as well. So you have to kind of be smart about it, in my opinion. So, but I do feel like there is a balance, because even though in some aspects I want to be submissive, in others, I already know for sure what I want, and there's almost nothing you could do or say about it, because I'm so passionate about it, So.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's kind of like it depends. Do you think that it depends on the man that you are with. Because one of the things that I was sharing is I think that in the case for Jeannie Mai, obviously she's very well. She's got a great career. She's well educated. She's cultured. She's got all this going for her. I don't think that she would be able to be submissive to a different type of man. I think she's in a relationship with the type of man that she feels like she could be submissive to.
Right.
So with that being said, what types of things are you personally attracted to when it comes to relationships? What do you look for, or what characteristics are you open to, in a man that you are dating?
So definitely has to be driven, because I'm driven. So I cannot be with somebody who is stagnant and not really wanting more out of life. Like, I don't think I will ever be satisfied. So I'm constantly striving for more and for better. So I would need somebody that is driven like that as well. I think that's a huge characteristic. And of course we have to have a lot of other stuff in common.
Yeah.
But, just being in the same mindset with somebody, speaks volumes.
Yeah, I like that. Well, if you guys are just tuning in, we are talking with actress, model, social influencer, LaToya Ward. We talked about her stint on Tyler Perry's If Loving You Is Wrong, her new indie film that is actually now a part of the Urban Media Makers Film Festival happening right now, called Damsel. And you've had a chance to be in some additional projects. I know you had a chance to act with Romany Malco, one of our favorite leading men.
Yeah.
Very charming, very handsome. And that film, I believe, was called Purpose Before Prison.
Yeah, Purpose Over Prison.
Purpose Over Prison. Yeah. Tell us about that film.
So that Romney is amazing. He is so funny. I don't know if you've got a chance to see it, but it was like one of the top 5 comedies on Amazon Prime. And it's basically like a mockumentary of one of the characters that he does, Tijuana Jackson, who's been in prison, and he comes out to be like a motivational speaker. And so he's just so funny. It's ridiculous. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because that to me also speaks to the power of affirmations. And so I remember meeting Romany in Beverly Hills one time after I had left my agency. And I'm walking down the street with another guy, and we see him and we're like, oh my God, like, we recognize you. So we took a picture together, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be working with you soon. And he was like, okay. And then like not even a year later, here we are, and we're working. And I'm like, oh. So when he told me that I got the part, I literally, like, I don't want y'all to think I'm a crybaby or anything, but literally I was like crying over that too. But it was just amazing. He's so funny. It was really good. That's cool.
So that's on Amazon Prime.
Yes. It's also like on other streaming platforms too, but I know for sure it's on Amazon. I think like Hulu and some others as well. Yeah.
Very cool. There are so many different ways to digest content now. So, we have so many platforms. Do you think that as someone that is an actress, an African-American actress, do you think that we are in a better place because there are so many opportunities? It seems like, between just so many platforms for content and so many platforms for African-American content. Does that kind of inspire you as you go ahead with your journey as an actress?
For sure, because it's so much easier now for eyes to be on you and for people to reach out to you, where before it was like, okay, well, I have to go in and audition, and I have to work through my agent or my manager. And now you can post something and it could be seen by, anybody basically. So they'll reach out to you and, find out if you're interested in working with them on something else, which is extremely powerful. So, yeah, I'm really grateful for this time. And then as an African American, like we are killing it right now. So
we are. I think we are on trend.
Yeah.
Hopefully this movement will continue, because we know there's trends that always come and go. But I think with more of us being in front of the camera and behind the camera and executive producing and things like that, it just opens up so many more opportunities for us to be in control of our narrative and that type of thing. So of all the stuff that we're talking about, the wonderful projects you've been on, you're being asked, would you date an older man? So I have to ask you, are you in a relationship? Are you free? Are you open? The men are definitely feeling you tonight.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So would I date an older man?
Would you date an older man?
Older, I have not.
You have not. Okay.
I'm thinking like I'm guessing the question is, 5, 10, 15 years older than me.
Definitely. I would say definitely 10, because 5 years is kind
Yeah.
of like, that's not really a big deal. But like once you look at like 10, 15, 20, then there's an obvious gap.
Right. Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've not come across any that I'd be like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you gave us driven, but what things for the guys that are tuning in, and looking at your Instagram, you guys have to go to her Instagram at LaToya Ward. She's absolutely gorgeous and continues to stun on the rest of us. Like, I got to get in the gym. But what physical, like what type of guy are you attracted to outside of driven? Because you can be driven in a lot of different ways. So what types of things attract you outside of that?
So I do like men that are physically fit.
Right.
So I think, of course you have to, be taking care of yourself as well. Because I'm taking care of myself. I think we should have that in common. Have a great personality. Of course, if you can make me laugh, that's all the better. But be smart, be very intelligent, and just have have stuff going on for yourself.
Right.
Okay, like, but yeah, I think that.
I like that. Okay. That makes sense. Because so many times guys will say ask a woman what she's attracted to. And you see a woman that's in great physical shape and they're obviously not. And it's like, why would you assume that she would be interested? Because you obviously don't have that in common.
Right. And then be respectful too. Like, there's nothing more attractive than a respectful man that knows how to communicate. So you would be surprised of some of the people that hit me up and I'm like, why would you think I would respond to that? Like, what am I giving you that would make you think that deserves a response? It's complete crazy.
It is madness. I think with guys, it's kind of like they just try it, and if it works, it's lucky. If it doesn't. But I wanted to ask you, we're having this conversation and seeing someone like yourself that, like I said, has like the total package. I asked the question, do you lead as a woman? Do you lead with brains or do you lead with beauty? Which one do you think you lead with and why?
So personally, I feel like I lead with brains. Beauty is the exterior. So that may be what somebody sees, on the outside, just me. However, I like to lead with brains because we need to know, and you need to know from the jump, that I am not somebody that you can just play around with. I'm not going to be gullible and believe anything that you say, because I'm all about business. And I feel like if I were to lead with beauty, everything gets confused. You don't know if, I'm trying to date or if I'm trying to, get in this movie, and I'm all about business. So that's something that you're going to quickly learn from me, even though you might have been attracted to the beauty on the outside. We need to, set some boundaries and let you know, like, no, this is all about business. Thank you. So, yeah.
Do you think that guys sometimes may get the wrong impression if they see a package that they're very attracted to, and have you had that experience where a man sees you and his first response is to respond to the beauty and then you have to kind of come back and check him or come back and straighten that out?
Yes, I see that a lot. And even talking to other male friends, they say you really can't fault him, because at the end of the day, he's almost like, well, why not shoot my shot? Okay, I get that. However, it's going to be incumbent upon me to let you know, like, I appreciate it. However, I'm not interested in a relationship like that. This is a relationship for sure, but anything more than that, no. And then another thing too, like, I don't want to mess up the business. So if I'm meeting you and, I don't know whoever you are, but if my goal is to work with you, I do not want to get into a relationship with you, because if that relationship goes sour, we just probably messed up the money, the bread.
That is true. Yeah. So what would you do if there was a guy that you were very interested in that you did work with? Would you take a chance?
I'm still.
You need that mirror. You need you need the device and you're with me.
It probably depends on a lot of things, where I am in life with certain situations and where everything is falling into place. But
Right.
I can't say for sure, like, yeah, well, let's definitely, see what happens. It just really depends. A lot of factors that come into that.
I still say you need the device.
Right. Right. To find out, like, is this a good thing or not?
Yeah, is this worth taking a chance on or not? I need to know.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, LaToya. Let people know where they can follow you. Again, remind people where they can watch Damsel, and be sure to support that as well.
Thank you so much. So y'all could see Damsel from the 12th through the 25th of October. It's on urbanflixtogo.com. And if you just go to umff.com, you can get tickets to the festival that's streaming now through the 25th of October. And as far as reaching out to me or my contact information on Instagram, I am LaToya Ward, all one word, nothing else, because there's a couple of fake accounts out there, but it's all one word. And then also on YouTube, it's youtube.com/LaToya Ward. Twitter's LaToya Ward. Snapchat is LaToya.Ward.
Okay.
And on Facebook is LaToya Ward Official. I think I covered them all. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, before you leave us with a couple of workout tips for those of us that are trying to get our workout on, especially at home now, since we are not in the gym. What can you leave us with to get started and kind of put us in the right direction?
I say just do something and have a goal. So even if it's 15, 25 jumping jacks or sit-ups or crunches, start small and then just have a goal. So if your goal is to be able to do 100 a day, then take your baby steps to do that. But as long as you're doing something, then I think you're going to see results and you'll feel better about yourself for sure. Yeah. And then watch what you eat too. You can't be doing crunches and then, eating crazy. So take that into consideration as well. But I think it's really important for people just to start doing something in order to get healthier and see results. And I definitely would recommend that. Even if you're brushing your teeth, do some squats as you're doing that,
multitask.
Yeah, exactly. Anything like that. So, and then too, I do want to make my last one be my website, which is probably the easiest one to remember, LaToyaWard.com.
That's very easy. And I love the fact that your name is easy to spell. It's just like your name. It's very, very simple. So you guys make sure to follow her. I want to thank you for leaving us with some great reality checks today. The first one was be prepared and go all out with that opportunity. And second reality check that we just heard on working out is just get up and do something. Get started, set goals, but get moving. So thank you so much, LaToya.
Thank you so much, Crystal. I really appreciate you.
Of course. We'll see you next time. Keep us updated about Damsel.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. That was a fun conversation. You can check LaToya out, like she said, on all her social media platforms. Of course, we know that she was on If Loving You Is Wrong, which airs on OWN. And check out Damsel. I'm going to look that up myself, umff.com. Check it out. It's a 20-minute short, which means it's easy to watch, but it sounds like a really cool storyline. We want to make sure, again, that we are supporting African-American content. This has been Reality Check, of course, with me, your host, Crystal Jordan. Thank you for tuning in. Hoping to see you guys next Monday at 8 p.m. for our third installment of the Primetime Reality Check. All right, I'll see you guys then. Have a great evening. Bye.